Hello, Tony here, back on my channel once more on the Wednesday slot. And following the trend set for Wednesday videos, today will be another box opening. And not just any box opening, today will be a box opening for Yu-Gi-Oh's newest core set, Burst of Destiny. So for those just catching up with Konami's recent product releases, Burst of Destiny is the most recent core set to come out for the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. And with it comes 100 new cards added to the card pool for duelists to experiment and build new decks with. Like most Series 11 core sets, Burst of Destiny continues the theme of providing new legacy support to fan-favorite anime archetypes, this time to Varus's Rocket and Boral monsters. On top of that, Burst of Destiny also features a brand new Albaz Saga archetype in the Sword Soul, a worm-based archetype specializing in one-card synchro summons through their ability to create tuner token monsters. Finally, Burst of Destiny also introduces another powerful fusion engine for Verte Anaconda to abuse in Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, designed to work fantastically with the new Destiny Hero support packaged in this set as well. But that's not all. Burst of Destiny also sprinkles in support for many of the archetypes released in side sets throughout this last year. From Evo Twins to Magistus to even Sun Avalon, Burst of Destiny is shaping up to be a set with huge ramifications for the meta and fantastic deck building potential. So hopefully we hit at least some of these highlights as we delve into this set. Anyway, I've droned on for too long. Without a further ado, let's get into the box opening. Popping off this plastic here, as always, expect for me to pause periodically as I hit some of the aforementioned highlights to talk more in depth about each one. I believe doing so provides users a greater insight of what the set has to offer and a more informed understanding of what to expect. Anyways, getting into our first pack here, it's important to remember that these core sets are mapped, meaning that if we hit a hit on this side, we also hit a hit on the other side as well. Anyway, getting into our first pack here, we have one Gunship Suship Uni, one Night Flight, one Magical Cylinders, one Cynet Crosswipe, and a Bayonet Punisher, a new Boral support card that allows us to apply different effects depending on which kind of Boral monster we control. From there, we have the new B-Trooper Assault Roller, one of the new support cards for the B-Trooper archetype, a Gunship Suship Sharuo, as well as a Transonic Bird, a new ritual retrain of Sonic Bird, useful for actually supporting rituals in general, as well as one Undaunted Bumpkin Beast. Going to the other side, we have one Break the Destiny, one Heritage of the Light, one Flip Frozen, Sonic Tracker, the ritual spell for the Transonic Bird, and a Sword Soul Auspice Chunjin, which I believe is part of the Sword Soul archetype. We'll explore them more if we pull some of the better cards. Reptilian Recon, another Gunship Suship Shuruo, B-Trooper Squad, one of the trap cards for the B-Trooper support, and another Undaunted Bumpkin Beast. Alright, going on to our second layer, we have one Heritage of the Light, one Flip Frozen, one Fluwandereeze and Toucan, one of the Florundereeze support cards, which is part of that archetype. This one's actually really interesting. If we do pull a fair number of them, I will pause to talk about them, but I will separate it right here. From there, we have a Cynet Crosswipe, as well as a Magic-Key Fiend Transferamine, one of the synchro cards for the Magic-Key archetype, now giving, I think, an Xyz as a synchro on top of the Fusion and Ritual we already had. From there, we have Fangly the Soda Prom, which I believe is just the pineapple, a Night Solar Serpent, as well as Danger Disturbance Disorder, and another Transonic Bird. Alright, going on to the left. We have one Apex Predation. This is actually a very powerful trap that allows us to destroy all special summon monsters on the field, which can be incredibly useful depending on decks that don't require special summons. We'll have one Reptilian Kotal, one Rebuilder, another Sonic Tracker, a Fluwandereeze and Elgin, another Gunship Suship Sharuo, a Transonic Bird, an Undaunted Beast Bumpkin, and a Detonation Code. Alright, So far we haven't hit anything major. We have hit a few Fulenderies cards as well as a few Sword Soul cards, but nothing on the secret scale. Wow, I just realized this pack I think came damaged. You could see the damage here. So if this is the secret rare, we're going to be pretty upset. We have a Sword Soul Assessment, a Cynet Cascade, an Ice Jade Tinola, a Gemini's Lord Gold Knight. Well, say and you shall receive. We have gotten our secret rare in Small World. Now this is a very interesting spell that does a few applications for searching, but to understand how it works, I'm going to have to pause right now to talk about Small World. So out of the many cool cards that come out in Burst of Destiny, one stands among them as one of the most peculiar search cards ever printed, that being Small World. Small World operates like this. When activated, you must first reveal a monster from your hand. From there, you can look through your deck and find a monster who shares one and only one of the following traits with that revealed monster: type, attribute, level, attack, or defense. Upon finding said monster, you must then banish the monster you revealed from your hand face down, before then adding a third monster from your deck to your hand who shares one and only one of the aforementioned traits with the second monster you found in your deck, of which you then banish said second monster face down as well. So if that entire explanation sounded complex and confusing, do not be alarmed. Unfortunately, the English language provides no good way to describe these instructions cleanly without the use of a detailed diagram. So instead, I will demonstrate through example. Suppose my hand contains this Sangan alongside Small World. Activating Small World will have me reveal my Sangan and then find a monster in my deck who is either the same type, attribute, level, attack, or defense as my revealed Sangan, but only one of those things. Thus, I can reveal any monster from my deck who is either a Fiend, a Dark, a level 3, 1000 attack, or 1000 defense, but not two of those things. This means I can reveal something like a Witch of the Black Forest, since the only thing it has in relation to Sangan is being a Dark, but I can't reveal a Burning Abyss monster since they would both be Dark, Fiend, and level 3. Upon finding said monster, in this case my Witch, I will banish my Sangan face down before then adding from my deck to my hand a third monster who is either the same type, attribute, level, attack, or defense as my revealed Witch, but only one of those things. Thus, I am free to grab a monster from my deck who is either a Spellcaster, a Dark, a level 4, 1100 attack, or 1200 defense, but not two of those things. In this case, let's say a Speed or Takatomborg who only shares the 1200 defense with Witch, of which I then banish the Witch face down as well to finish resolving Small World. Now, due to the somewhat convoluted nature of this card, it would appear that this card would only have incredibly niche uses. However, the card is actually much more generic than it would seem. While the card has very little value in what we call tribal decks, decks that revolve around a concrete uniform card profile like Drytron or Burning Abyss, the card has incredible applications for decks that either run monolithic profiles or incredibly varied profiles. The former are decks that only are related by one specific common theme, things like Infernity or Mermail who are linked by their attribute and little else. The latter are decks that operate with loose relations between one or two monsters, but nothing that applies across to all your monsters, like Virtual World or S-Force. Both of these kind of decks have no problem bridging from any monster to any other monster, which allows them to utilize Small World to turn any monster in their hand into any monster in their deck. To those decks, Small World practically acts as a Omni Searcher, which is always a welcome boost in consistency to their playstyle. Ultimately, you're going to have to really think about what decks can utilize Small World effectively, but for the ones that can, this card promises to vastly improve that deck's ability to grab just what it needs for any situation at hand. Returning to our abode opening with the remainder of this pack, we're going to put this aside. We have another Detonation Code, a Penguin Ninja, a Laundry Trap, and another Ice Jade Acti. Alright, gonna sort this out a bit. Now, since we got a secret rare on that side, we note that this pack will most likely be the secret rare. So we're going to set that aside for now and move on for later. Going into our next layer. Wow, these packs actually are damaged. That's really concerning for some of these packs. We have one Cynet Cascade, one Magic Key Battle, one Sonic Trekker, 1 Night Flight, and a Heavy Interlock, the ritual spell for the new Borreload ritual monster. This card's actually really cool, specifically because it lists that ritual monster as part of its summoning, which means it can be searched by our advanced preparation arts. I think that's what it's card called. Either way, this card is interesting. I might build a deck out of it. We have another Fangly the Sogaprom, another Beat Trooper Squad, and Cupid Pitch, the new Synchro Tuner monster that is promising to make some crazy plays with Auroradon. Moving on from there, our next pack is going to have 1 Outstanding Dog Mary, a support for Outstanding Dog Marin, sure, 1 Ice Jade Tanola, 1 Break the Destiny, 1 Heritage of the Light, a Stained Glass of Light and Dark, a Penguin Ninja. I should point out that there is actually a fair number of Penguin support in this set as well. It's worth checking out because there's also Winged Beast support in the Flenderies also. The Laundry Trap, another Ice Jade Acti, as well as a Magic Key Locking. Moving on to the next layer here. Our next pack is going to have a Cynac Crosswipe, another Sword Soul Assessment, a Cynac Cascade, an Ice Jade Tanola, a Branded in High Spirits, a search card for our Fallen of Albaz, which also works fantastically with Despia, 1 Fangly the Sodaprom, another Ice Jade Acti, a Gunkip Suship Sharu, and another Beat Trooper Squad. Alright, it's at this point I think we're starting to see some doubles, so I might just start skipping ahead if we've already seen the card before. We have another Rebuilder, another Sonic Tracker, another Outstanding Dog Mary, another Ice Jade Tanola, as well as the ultimate flagship Ursartron. One of the, I guess, legacy support cards for Ursartix, but also Drytron. See, there's actually a fair number of legacy support cards in this set for a fair number of the side sets. Not only Drytron, but Evil Twin and Magistus, as well as Sun Avalon as well. And seeing as we pull this card, I think I'm going to pause here to talk about some of that legacy support. As with many of the recent core sets, Burst of Destiny continues the theme of providing support to archetypes released in side sets like Genesis Impactors. While the prior sets focused more on creating consistency cards for decks like Magistus, Drytron, and Evil Twin, Burst of Destiny instead takes on a more boss monster oriented approach, releasing endgame monsters for all 3 of the aforementioned archetypes. Magistus receives Aurora, the Magistus Conflagrant Calamity, a powerful level 8 synchro with a lockdown effect relative to what Magistus monsters you have equipped. Drytron and Ursartic receive the flagship Ultimate Flagship Ursartron, a weird amalgamation of both archetypes that both search and recycle monsters of either one. Lastly, Evil Twin receive a new rival in Evil Twin Trouble Sunny, a 3300 Link 4 that can tag out into both lesser twins at quick effect speed. All 3 monsters drastically improve the end boards these archetypes can make, with some of these cards even affecting the meta contention of the decks they play in. Returning to our opening once more, we're just going to ignore the rest of the commons since I'm pretty sure there's nothing of major note at this point. But from there we have a Giant Starfall, another Gemini's Lord Gold Knight, another Ice Jade Tanola, another Rebuilder, and our ultra rare is the new Sword Soul monster in Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Chun Ying. Okay, so I didn't want to pause immediately after already pausing just now, but given that we've pulled a Sword Soul card, particularly a high rarity one, I think it's a good time for me to once again pause to talk about the Sword Soul. Now, outside of Phoenix Enforcer, nothing is as highly anticipated from Burst of Destiny as the Sword Soul, the next archetype to be introduced for the Albaz saga. Named after famous swords in Chinese history and mythology, the Sword Soul are a worm-based archetype focused on synchro summoning. However, unlike prior synchro archetypes, the Sword Soul don't actually have any tuners to their name. Instead, each of the Sword Soul monsters come packaged with an effect to summon a level 4 tuner token, thereby creating the conditions necessary to facilitate a synchro summon. For example, Sword Soul of Mo Yi can reveal a Sword Soul or Worm on normal or special to create a Sword Soul tuner token. Likewise, Sword Soul Strategist Long Yuan can special summon itself by discarding another Sword Soul or Worm, and in doing so create a Sword Soul tuner token. Finally, Sword Soul of Taya can banish a Sword Soul or Worm from your graveyard to create a Sword Soul tuner token. Through these effects, the Sword Soul effectively facilitate a one-card synchro summon, reducing the complexity of their combos while still allowing them to output boss monsters with ease. and it's this aspect alone that really defines their meta potential. History has already shown us with Zodiac and Tri-Brigade that a one-card anything is a powerful concept to have. These kinds of decks naturally utilize less resources to accomplish the same goals as other decks, which in turn allows them to run less options for a combo and more hand traps for disruption. Sword Soul is no different. With something as simple as opening a Moyi, it's very easy for this deck to end on 2 synchro disruptions while still maintaining a sizable hand for follow-up plays and hand traps to boot. And thanks to the newly released Baron de Fleur in Synchro Storm, the deck also has access to several generic Omni Negates at every one of their accessible levels to really take the meta by storm. And while our only evidence of their meta playability is so far by OCG results, there is little doubt in my mind that Sword Soul, with their simplicity and power, will make an impact on the current meta. Once again, returning to our opening with the remainder of this pack, we have a Sword Soul Blackout, a Transonic Bird, another Danger Disturbance Disorder, a Night Surge Sword Serpent. Alright. Moving on from there, we have another Flip Frozen, a Psyneck Crosswipe, a Psyneck Cascade, a Magic Key Battle, and another Floowandereeze in Floowandereeze and Robina. We're slowly building up an amount. I believe if we pull another different one, I will pause to talk about that. We have a Threshold Borg, another Sword Soul Blackout, and another Transonic Bird, as well as another Danger Disturbance Disorder. Alright, continuing on from there. So far we have pulled only 1 Ultra Rare and actually 1 Secret Rare, so we still got a fair number of hits to go. We have a Gemini's Lord Gold Knight, a DDD Assault Carrier, a Mimicking Maneater Bug, a Penguin Cleric, and our ultra rare is our Bee Trooper Descent, one of the Bee Trooper cards for this set. This one actually makes a token which is really welcome for the Bee Trooper strategy. So we're going to put that aside here. We have another Reptilian Recoil, an Undaunted Bumpkin Beast, as well as a Night Sword Serpent, and a Bee Trooper Landing. This, I believe, is the fusion spell for the Bee Trooper deck. Yes, they do get a fusion. Is it good? I don't know yet. Is it playable? Definitely not. Alright, moving on to our next pack. We have another Giant Starfall, another Sword Soul Assessment, a Penguin Squire, a Gunship Suship Shirul class Carrier, a Gunship Suship Uni-class Super Dreadnought, 1 Brave Drive, another Fangly the Sodaprom, another Night Sword Serpent, and another Danger Disturbance Disorder. I just started realizing a trend. I think I've opened this Danger Disturbance Disorder as my last card in the pack upwards of 5 times now. That's a little odd. We have the Break the Destiny, a Heritage of the Light, Magic Key Battle, Abyss Keeper, Supernatural Danger Zone, another danger support card I think, or actually does have the danger text, it's not a danger support card, Penguin Ninja, Magic Key Magnificent Magic Key Maftail, a fantastic support card for the Magic Key deck, a Magic Key Locking, a Reptilian Yami, and then our next pack. Halfway through, so far only 2 Ultra Rares and 1 Secret Rare. Let's see what we can get. Another Gunship Suship Surreal class Carrier, another Break the Destiny, a Heritage of the Lights, a Flip Frozen, a Floowandereeze and Dreaming Toss as our trap, a Magnificent Maftail, another Magic Key Locking, another Reptilian Yami, and a Laundry Trap. Okay, it's at this point I've noticed that we've pulled a fair number of different Floowandereeze cards, and this archetype is actually rather interesting, so I think I'm going to pause right now to talk about the Floowandereeze. Aside from the Sword Soul, the other major archetype making its debut in Burst to Destiny is the Floowandereeze. Based on the concept of migratory birds, the Floowandereeze drastically contrasts the Sword Soul in playstyle. While the Sword Soul primarily focus on special summoning en masse, the Floowandereeze instead forego the special summon in lieu of facilitating multiple normal summons. Each Floowandereeze monster on normal summon initiates a unique effect before giving you an additional normal summon of another winged beast type monster. For example, Floowandereeze and Robina searches for a level 1 winged beast before facilitating an additional normal summon. Inversely, Floowandereeze and Elgin searches for a level 7 or higher winged beast before facilitating an additional normal summon. The ultimate goal of these effects is to amass enough monsters onto the field to perform a tribute summon of one of your bigger Floowandereeze monsters in Floowandereeze and Empan and Floowandereeze and Snoll. both of which possess effects that control the field. To economically accomplish this, the Floowandereeze also possess 2 additional effects. The first causes them to be banished when they leave the field. The second is that on normal summon of a Floowandereeze, they can add themselves from the banished back to your hand. These 2 effects allow the Floowandereeze monsters to continuously recycle themselves whenever you summon another Floowandereeze to guarantee you have a Floowandereeze monster in hand to normal summon off of that additional normal summon. Further backing this up is their spell and traps. Floowandereeze and Magnificent Map generates an additional normal summon while also banishing a Floowandereeze from deck, 2 effects that automatically set up your chain of normal summons. Likewise, Floowandereeze and Dreaming Town allows you to normal summon a level 4 or lower winged beast at quick effect speed, while also booking your opponent's entire field when you normal summon a level 7 or higher winged beast monster. But none stands more powerful than Floowandereeze and Scary Sea, a counter trap that can be activated so long as you control a tribute summon monster and no special summon monsters. Activating in response to an attempt to special summon, Scary Sea negates said summon and prevents your opponent from special summoning further in that turn, instead giving your opponent 3 normal summons that turn. While seemingly a fair trade-off, a majority of the decks in this day and age only have special summon only boss monsters as their endgame. Thus, resolving Scary Sea against those decks effectively denies them any reasonable endboard, which in turn effectively spells victory for the Floowandereeze. All in all, the Floowandereeze are shaping up to be the next competitive tribute summon deck, only hindered by their inability to play through common hand traps. Fortunately, with cards like Crossout Designator and Book of Moon at their disposal, it's only a matter of time before Floowandereeze gets to go off, and when it does, you better brace yourself for a storm. Continuing on from there with our next pack. This pack will have 1 Magical Cylinders, 1 Gunship Suship Uni, 1 Apex Predation, 1 Reptilian Kotal, 1 Sunvine Zone, the support card for Sunvines, another Transonic Bird, a Fangly the Soda Prom, a B-Trooper Squad, and another Cupid Pitch. Alright. Next pack, we're all about 3/4 of the way through. 1 Reptilian Kotal, 1 Gunship Suship Uni, 1 Night Flight, 1 Magical Cylinders, another Magic Fiend Transferlamine, 1 Brave Drive, 1 Floowandereeze and Stry, a Starry Night Orbiteal, new support for the Starry Knights, really cool. We're waiting on the Exceeds though, 1 Penguin Ninja as our last card of the pack, and then moving on to the next side, we have another Sonic Tracker, another Floowandereeze and Toucan, an Abyss Keeper, a DDD Assault Carrier, a Floowandereeze and Scary Sea, another B-Trooper Assault Roller, a Detonation Code, a Arsartic Drytron, the fusion spell for that Arsartic fusion we just pulled, a Threshold Borg as our last card. Alright, next packs. We have 1 Penguin Squire, 1 Mimicking Maneater Bug. I should have pointed out that this is actually a retrain of the original Maneater Bug, another Floowandereeze and Toucan, 1 Heritage of the Light, and our... Well, I guess these packs aren't mapped because we just got a secret rare in the same row. This is Ice Jade Tremor, one of the Ice Jade cards, which is also loosely related to the Outback Saga. This card's rather interesting because it allows you to discard this card from your hand to special summon a water monster from your hand, which can be useful in a lot of water-based decks. And this card might be useful as more Ice Jade or water support come out. I'm going to put that aside. We have a Laundry Trap, a B-Trooper Assault Roller, a Detonation Code, and our Arsartic Drytron. Alright, seeing as we have pulled a secret rare here, I'm pretty sure this pack that we saved up is probably not going to have a secret rare, so we can be free to open it up. We have another Floowandereeze and Toucan, an Abyss Keeper, 1 DD Assault Carrier, 1 Ice Jade Tanola, a Reptilian Ramifications, so you're right, there is no secret rare, 1 Night Sword Serpent, 1 B-Trooper Landing, as well as another Magnificent Magic-Key Mafteal, and a Royal Penguin Gardens. Okay, so at this point we've hit both of our secret rares and 2 ultra rares, I believe, so only 2 ultra rares left. 1 DD Assault Carrier, another Maneater Bug, another Penguin Cleric, a Psynet Crosswipe, a Reptilian Melusine, a Magic Key Locking, a Threshold Borg, a Starry Night Orbital, and another Ursartic Drytron. Alright, I believe now we have 3 packs left, including this one. We're almost done. We have another Giant Starfall, another Gemini's Lord Gold Knight, 1 Rebuilder, 1 Reptilian Kotal, a Sword Soul Sacred Summit, a Cupid Pitch, a Sword Soul Blackout, a Danger Disturbance Disorder, a Flundereeze, and Stry. Alright, last 2 packs. For the pack on the left, we have 1 Magic Key Battle, 1 Abyss Keeper, 1 Penguin Squire, 1 Mimicking Maneater Bug, our Ultra Rare's Rocket Caliber, one of the new supports for the Rocket archetype, really cool, a Threshold Borg, a Starry Night Orbital, another Ursartic Drytron, and another Brave Driver. And finally, our last pack. This pack will have 1 Apex Predation, 1 Penguin Cleric, another Outstanding Dog Mary, a Giant Starfall, a Ultra Rare Machina Ruin Force, a retrain of I believe Machina Citadel for the deck, a Reptilian Recoil, a Reptilian Yami, a B-Trooper Landing, and a Penguin Ninja as our last card for this Burst of Destiny opening. And that's going to do it for this Burst of Destiny box opening. So, what are my thoughts on this set? Well, I'd say that this set is a pretty good one. While prior sets in Dawn of Majesty and Lightning Overdrive have failed to deliver in meta impact, Burst of Destiny absolutely promises to deliver, with 3 new meta archetypes potentially poised to enter the ring from just this set alone. On top of that, this set definitely has a bit for everyone. From legacy support to old themes revamped to even fan favorite love for Destiny heroes, Burst of Destiny looks to be a set that anyone can enjoy cracking. But with that being said, I can't help but feel that this set continues to be a little top heavy. With Sword Soul coming in at 3 secret rares and Magistus, Flundereeze, and Destiny heroes requiring at least 1 secret rare, it's also definitely a set that you may have to shell out a lot of green to get the competitive cards for. But regardless, this has been Tony with a Burst of Destiny box opening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.